Do this every time you get paid. Paycheck routine. If you check your bank account on payday and feel rich, then check it 3 days later and wonder where all your money went. If you've ever told yourself, "I'll start saving next month," only to repeat that same promise 12 months in a row. If you felt that sinking feeling when an unexpected $400 expense pops up and you realize you're completely unprepared, then you're living in what I call the paycheck disappearing act. And trust me, you're not alone. A shocking 65% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And here's the kicker. 20% of people earning over $150,000 a year are in the same trap. This isn't about how much you make, it's about what you do the moment that money hits your account. I'll never forget the feeling I had when I was 23 years old. I got promoted at work, got a nice raise, and I remember thinking, this is it. I've made it finally. I can breathe a little. Right, well, 3 months later, I was somehow more stressed about money than before the raise. Why? Because I fell into the most dangerous trap in personal finance lifestyle. Inflation. Every dollar I earned just magically found a new place to disappear. It wasn't until I implemented what I'm about to teach you today that everything changed. And I mean everything. Within 18 months, I went from having $300 in my bank account and constant anxiety to having a fully funded emergency fund, my investments running on autopilot, and actual peace of mind about money. So, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact paycheck routine that transformed my finances and has helped thousands of others break free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle. This isn't complicated, but it does require you to make a decision today that you're going to stop letting your money control you and start controlling your money. Let's dive in. The moment your paycheck hits. Here's what most people do. The second they get paid absolutely nothing. They check their balance, smile for a second, and then go about their day. Meanwhile, their money is just sitting there waiting to be spent on whatever catches their eye. First, this is the problem. You need to intercept your money before your brain starts making excuses for why you deserve that new gadget, or those shoes, or that extra night out. The wealthy don't wait for motivation. They build systems, and the system starts the second that direct deposit notification pops up on your phone. I'm talking within 24 hours. You need to have a plan that executes automatically. Because here's what I learned the hard way. Willpower is a terrible strategy for building wealth. Willpower runs out. Systems don't. Step 1. Know your 4 buckets. Before we even talk about where your money should go, you need to understand that every single dollar you earn should be assigned to one of 4 buckets. And I mean every single dollar your money needs a job, or it will quit on you. Bucket 1 is survive. These are your essentials: rent or mortgage, utilities, insurance, transportation, groceries. The stuff you literally cannot live without. Here's the rule. I want you to tattoo on your brain. Your survive bucket should be 50% or less of your take-home pay. And if you're serious about building wealth, get that number closer to 40%. I know some of you are thinking that's impossible with my rent. Trust me, I hear you. But remember, this is a target to work toward. Maybe you can't hit it today, but you need to know where you're aiming. Bucket 2 is save. This is your emergency fund, your oh crap account, the thing that keeps you from spiraling into debt when life does what life does best. Throwing curveballs at the worst possible time, you should be putting at least 10% of every paycheck into this bucket until you have 3 to 6 months of your survive expenses covered. Let me tell you something. Nobody talks about having an emergency fund. Isn't just about the money. It's about the sleep you'll finally get at night, knowing that a flat tire or a broken water heater isn't going to destroy your entire month bucket. 3 is grow. This is where you build actual wealth investments, retirement accounts, index funds. The stuff that turns your earned income into passive income. You should be putting a minimum of 15% here. And here's the beautiful part about this bucket. It works while you sleep. It grows while you're watching Netflix. It compounds while you're scrolling through social media. This is the bucket that buys you freedom later. Bucket 4 is spend. This is your guilt. Free money, the stuff you get to enjoy right now, going out to dinner, buying that thing you've been eyeing, treating yourself to experiences that make life worth living. This should be around 25% of your income. And here's the thing. Once you've handled buckets 1 through 3, you get to spend this money without any guilt at all, because you've already taken care of future you. Step 2. Automate everything. Listen to me very carefully. Automation is not optional. It's the difference between people who build wealth and people who keep promising themselves they'll start next month. I don't care how disciplined you think you are. Your brain is wired to avoid pain, and spending money feels painful in the moment while saving. Feels painful now but rewarding later, and your brain will always choose. Now here's what you're going to do today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, you're going to set up automatic transfers that happen the day after your paycheck hits. Open up your bank account and schedule these transfers to happen every single pay period without you having to think about it. If you get paid on the first of the month schedule, your Survive bucket payments for the second, your Save bucket transfer for the second, your Grow bucket contribution for the second. See what I'm doing here? I'm removing you from the equation because you are the problem. I'm the problem. We're all the problem when it comes to money. We overthink. We rationalize. We make exceptions. We tell ourselves stories. Automation beats motivation. Every single time, a study found that people who automate their savings are 73% more likely to reach their financial goals than people who try to do it manually. Think about that for a second. Just by removing the decision from your plate, you triple your chances of success. Step 3. The pay yourself. First principle. Here's where most people mess this up completely. They pay everyone else, first rent, insurance, Netflix subscriptions, credit card bills, and then they look at what's left over and say, okay, I'll save that. Except there's never anything left over. Is there? The wealthy flip. This on its head, they pay themselves first, that Grow bucket. We talked about that needs to be the very first thing that happens when your paycheck hits your account before you see it, before you touch it, before you can spend it. You've already invested in your future self. Let me paint you a picture of how powerful this is. Let's say you make $4,000 a month after taxes, and you commit to paying yourself first, just 15%. That's $600. That automatically goes into an investment account, tracking the S&P 500, which historically returns about 10% per year. Do you know what that turns into in 30 years? $136 million, that's right. $1,360,000 just from taking $600 off the top every single month. Most people look at that and think, sure, but that's 30 years away. I need money now. And I get it. I really do. But let me ask you something, where are you going to be in 30 years? Anyway, you're going to be there whether you save the money or not. The only question is, are you going to be there with $136 million? Or are you going to be there wondering why you never started? Step 4. The guilt-free spending account. Now here's the part that most personal finance gurus won't tell you, because they're too busy trying to make you feel bad about enjoying your life. You need a guilt-free spending account seriously. I'm giving you permission to have fun with your money after you've automated your Survive, Save and Grow buckets. Whatever's left is yours to blow guilt-free. This might be 20% of your income. It might be 30%, depending on how aggressive you want to be with wealth building. But the point is, you get to spend this money on whatever brings you joy without any shame. Here's why this matters so much. People who try to save every penny and never let themselves enjoy anything always fail. They burn out, they rebel against their own budget, and they end up worse off than when they started. It's like going on an extreme diet. You can white-knuckle it for a few weeks, but eventually you're going to crack and eat an entire pizza. The guilt-free spending account is your release valve. It's what makes the whole system sustainable, because you know that you've already taken care of everything important, and now you get to live a little, want to go on vacation, Cool, you've been automatically saving for it in your grow bucket. Want to buy a nice dinner? Absolutely go for it. The money in your spend bucket is there for exactly that. Step 5. Track, but don't torture yourself. I'm going to be real with you for a second. You don't need to track every single coffee you buy. You don't need a spreadsheet with 47 categories. You don't need to know exactly how much you spent on socks last month. What you need is awareness. Once a month, sit down for 30 minutes and look at where your money went. Don't judge yourself. Don't spiral into shame. Just observe. Are you sticking to your 4 buckets? Is your system working? Or do you need to adjust something? The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. If your survive bucket is at 55% instead of 50%, that's okay. You're aware of it now, and you can make a plan to bring it down. Maybe that means meal prepping more. Maybe that means negotiating your insurance. Maybe that means getting a side hustle for a few months to boost your income. I check my finances once a month for about 20 minutes and that's it. The rest of the time, my money is on autopilot doing exactly what I told it to do, and I'm out living my life not stressing about every transaction. Step 6. Handle windfalls. Like a boss, here's where people really screw up. You get a tax refund. You get a work bonus. Your grandma sends you a check for your birthday, and suddenly that money just evaporates into thin air because you didn't have a plan for it whenever unexpected money comes your way. Use what I call the 50-50 rule. Take 50% of it and immediately move it into your grow bucket, invest it, lock it away. Pretend it doesn't exist. The other 50% put it in your guilt-free spending account and have a blast with it. This way you're not being a robot about money. You're enjoying the windfall, but you're also being smart and investing in your future. The you that's 10 years older is going to be so grateful that you did this. Step 7. Increase your income. Not just your savings. Here's the truth. Bomb, nobody wants to hear. There's a limit to how much you can save. There's no limit to how much you can earn. You can cut your expenses to the bone. You can eliminate every subscription. You can stop going out entirely. But at some point you hit a wall. Your earning potential, on the other hand, is basically unlimited. And I'm not saying this to discourage you from saving. I'm saying it to empower you to think bigger. If your survive bucket is taking up 70% of your paycheck, because rent is insane in your city, you have 2 choices: cut expenses or increase income. Maybe that means asking for a raise. Maybe that means starting a side hustle. Maybe that means learning a new skill that makes you more valuable in the job market. I know it's not easy, but it's necessary, because you can't budget your way out of a low-income problem. At some point, you need more money coming in. The real secret: consistency over perfection. I'm going to let you in on the real secret to building wealth. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. You're going to mess up. You're going to have a month where you overspend. You're going to have an emergency that drains your save bucket. You're going to skip a month of investing because life got crazy. That's okay. That's normal. What matters is that you get back on the horse. The next paycheck, you don't need to start over. You don't need to feel guilty. You just need to keep going. Wealth isn't built in a month or a year. It's built over decades by people who show up consistently, even when they don't feel like it, even when it's boring, even when they'd rather be doing literally anything else. Your 24-hour challenge. Here's what I want you to do in the next 24 hours. Not next week, not next month, the next 24 hours. Open up your bank account or your banking app and set up automatic transfers for your save and grow buckets, even if it's just $50 to start. Even if you think it's not enough, do it anyway. Because here's what happens. When you do this, your brain starts to see yourself differently. You go from being someone who wants to save money to someone who does save money, and that identity shift is everything. Then once you've done that, come back to this video and leave a comment telling me you did it. Say I automated my finances, or I paid myself first, or whatever you want. Just tell me you took action, because I genuinely want to know, and I'll be checking the comments to cheer you on. The bottom line: at the end of the day, This paycheck routine isn't about restricting yourself or living like a monk. It's about creating a system that works for you, so you can stop stressing about money and start actually living your life. You get one life, one shot, to build something meaningful. And I promise you that having money in the bank, having investments growing, having the freedom to say no to things you don't want to do, that's worth more than any temporary purchase you're going to make today. So make the decision right now that the next time you get paid, you're going to do things differently. You're going to have a plan. You're going to automate your finances, and you're going to start building the wealth you deserve. If you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe because we've got tons more content coming on how to build wealth, how to invest smarter, and how to create the financial life you actually want, but don't click away just yet. Go to the description and get your free tools, and don't forget to hit that like button and ring that notification bell. See you on the next video.